Guys, it has been a week. It has been a week. And sometimes when it's been a week, you just gotta sit on the floor. The floor's comforting. The floor's your friend. It's always there for you. And so I thought, why not invite you to sit on the floor with me and we'll make a vintage zucchini bread recipe. I, ironically enough, do not like zucchini, but I like zucchini bread. I also don't know how to spell zucchini. But I got all my ingredients, which you can't see. I got my fancy drink in my fancy glass. Let's make some bread. Okay, so today's recipe comes from the St. Orthodox Mission Cookbook. My lovely grandmother's pretty cursive handwriting on the inside. And the recipe that we're looking for is on page 58. This says for 2 cups of sugar. Okay, no, wait, that's for 2 loaves. I don't know if I want to do this recipe. Okay, be right back. Okay, so we're going to be in the Better Homes and Garden new cookbook, which I'm sure it was new at the time, but it's actually came out, this particular version came out in 1981. And I don't know why, but I always used to think that this book and Betty Crocker were, you know, the same thing. Because there's like this little lady right here, and I always used to think that's Betty Crocker. And yes, I know Betty Crocker is not a real person. It's really sad. And this is not called Better Homes and Garden Cookbook. This is called the Picnic Cookbook. Thank you very much. We're going to go to page 78. Too far. It just has a little less sugar, a little less flour, a little less egg. Just, you know, a little less of everything from the other book. So we may try that other recipe down the road, but today we're gonna do this one. All right, so the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of flour. And as I was gathering my ingredients together, I started thinking, where did zucchini bread come from? And if you're a curious cat like me, I Googled it, and I'll share a little bit with you if you like a little bit of history, fun facts. Okay, and next we're gonna need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So during World War II, when food was rationed, people were encouraged to do their own victory gardens, which is basically like their own like little personal gardens outside in their backyard. And zucchini was one of the staples in people's homes. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I just have 1/4 teaspoon here, so I'm doing it twice. So in the 1960s, during the hippie movement, there was an emphasis on eating healthier, and so sweet quick breads became a new popular way of eating. It was kind of the sister bread to banana bread, and it was easy to make. It was freezer friendly and was a lot healthier than the sheet cakes and the frosted layered cakes that they had made, which kind of sounds weird that it's healthier because this recipe also calls for just a little bit of sugar. It asks for 1 cup of sugar, so maybe it's the frosting that makes cakes less healthier than banana bread, but I don't know. I just work here. 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. During the 70s, many more recipes of the zucchini bread became available and popular, and it just became a kind of a staple in people's homes throughout the decades. As you can tell, because now I'm making it on my kitchen floor. Okay, I'm gonna give that a little mix, and I'm going to set it aside. Measure in 1 cup of sugar. One of my core memories as a kid was definitely way before the internet, and having a mom who stayed at home. She was a baker, and she used to bake and cook a lot in the kitchen, in our very outdated kitchen. We kids would do our schoolwork and sit around our very 90s, or I think it was actually an 80s, dark wood dining room table, which they still have. So I just have shredded zucchini that have a lot of water in the bag as well, so I just kind of pushed out a little bit of the water in a mesh strainer and then put it back in here. But this is a cup of zucchini you're gonna put in with your egg and your cup of sugar. I got too tiny of a bowl. I remember, you know, sitting in at our dining room table overlooking our big backyard with trees in our suburban neighborhood. And she'd just be putzing around in the kitchen, making any kind of breads and muffins that we would reap the benefits from. There's one memory that I have where we used to listen to the radio in the morning, back when the radio was popular. And it was some kind of morning show, and it was playing oldies music because we loved to listen to like the 60s and 70s music, that soft pop stuff. And some radio announcer was doing a contest on the radio. And I just remember all of us knew the answer of the contest or the question or whatever was happening. And so we were like, please, please, Mom, answer the phone, or like, go to the phone and call the radio station. And so my mom got on the phone and she was on hold, and we were all just sitting around like wondering if she's gonna get in, wondering if she's gonna win. I honestly don't remember even if she got through, but it's just like fun little memories like that of just being with my mom and being with my sister around the table. All right, then the last ingredients for me is going to be the 4th cup of oil. If you would like to put in any kind of chopped nuts, it says it looks like you're going to put in half a cup of walnuts. And it does say that if you want to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of finely shredded lemon peel. I'm not going to do that. So we're going to mix this all together, and then we're going to combine these two. These were also definitely a staple in my house growing up. When my mom gave these to me last October, oh my gosh, I cried. Like cried tears of joy, because I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you. And it was really funny because, my parents came to visit and she gave me these, and I immediately started baking something for my husband in these bowls, and my mom's sitting at the table, and I am just crying tears of happiness as I'm making something in these bowls. I cry a lot. Another reason why I decided to do this one over the other recipe is just because that one, I don't know that recipe very well. It's somewhat similar to this picnic book one, but I grew up with this picnic book one, and it was very nostalgic. I just needed something very nostalgic, very comforting, something that I knew would be a success and would taste good today. So that is why I'm doing this. But I would like to try in the future the other one that had my grandmother's beautiful handwriting in it. Okay, that looks pretty well mixed. So have it at 350 degrees, and it's preheated and already. Holding random stuff in my hands. Spray your loaf pan. You can also do this as muffins if you want. I have successfully done that as well, but I just want bread. I have been craving bread lately. Sometimes I just go on Pinterest and I look up Midwest Americana into the search bar, and it just gives me very nostalgic suburban neighborhoods. A lot of them a little more country-esque, but with cornfields and think like Nebraska or something, like the flatlands. But it just makes me really happy just looking at the simpler living. I don't know what I'm doing with this spatula. What are some core memories for you of simpler times? Please tell me in the comment section below. I need nostalgia. I need all that goodness, all that funness, childlike memories. Tell me in the comment section below. I would love to read them. So now we're gonna put this in the oven at about 45 to 55 minutes. I'm gonna check it at 45 with a toothpick just to see what it's like, and then I will be back with you. While that is in the oven, I just got this urge to clean out my fridge. It's somewhat food related, and I didn't know if you guys are people who like to see stuff like that. I'm going to be going grocery shopping in the next day or two, so I always like to clean and organize my fridge and make sure it's all nice. So I have a nice, pretty, clean refrigerator for when I put my groceries, my new groceries in it.
Okay, so this is the spot in the video where people have something very profound to say. I'm not good with profound stuff. So I'll just say that putting on music sometimes can make me more happy. It can have this snowball effect. Move my body, okay, move my body while I wash the dishes. Now let's clean the fridge, or vice versa. And yes, I usually dance this crazy because I am a big dork and I love dancing to music and making myself laugh. A YouTuber whom I follow had her brother on one of her videos, and he had this to say: "You can't think yourself out of a bad mood. You need to move your body. Be physical, and through that your brain will follow." That quote has been living rent-free in my brain for the past several weeks. So sometimes all you want to do is just sit on the floor, but always make sure that at the end of the day, you get up off the floor and move your body, even if it's just to dance like a dork.
Ta-da! Let's cut into it. Sorry. Let's not do that. Stupid. Don't do that. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's lightly sweet actually. It's not too sweet. Seriously takes me back to the 90s and early 2000s. Sitting in my mom's dining room. Oh my gosh. Pardon me while I eat all this. There's a little bit of a crunch to it. Sometimes when I make breads, even if it's been over-baked, sometimes they get a little mushy in the center still. Not zucchini bread. Zucchini bread is like, I'm gonna be cooked all the way through. I like that about zucchini bread. It's got my back, just like the floor. How did I get fuzz right here? Oh, it's like thread. Well, thank you for sticking around for this food on the floor edition. Don't do that. And let me know if you've tried this in the comment section below and what your review is. I'd love to hear your review. If you'd like to hit the subscribe button and if you'd like to hit the like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. If not, no worries. Be sure to stick around for next week. I think I have another little different type video scheduled for next week. Thank you for hanging out with me on my little corner of YouTube, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, here we go. In the 1960s, wow, words. I'm so awkward. I'm doing food on the floor.